Tim. Right now, there is sex for sale somewhere in Nebraska, but it's not always between two consenting adults. Instead, experts say it's often someone being trafficked. NTV's Ifeanyi Ibo Simba shows us how sex trafficking happens in Nebraska in this special report.
Where it's red, there's really a huge demand. And there's Hastings and Grand Island.
This heat map is the product of research done by Creighton University. It shows where sex is for sale online in the Cornhusker State, and it's not just in Lincoln and Omaha.
To think that the community that you live in, Kearney, Lexington, Grand Island, there's demand for sex there.
Anna Brewer is a former FBI agent who's investigated sex trafficking cases across the country. She says gone are the days of people circling blocks looking for sex. Today, you can scroll through ads on your phone and pick a human being to buy.
80% of sex trafficking happens on the internet, right? It's not the traditional walking the streets like it used to be.
According to Creighton University, there are 900 people for sale online every month here in Nebraska, and almost all of them are female.
The ads will use words as fresh, new, new meat, virgin, words like that to insinuate that they're young. That speaks to the demand. Who do the buyers want?
And researchers say almost all of the people trafficked here are from Nebraska.
So it's our own youth, it's our own population, our own citizens that are being exploited.
Men and women exploiting strangers, and even parents selling their own kids. Back in 2013, a Franklin County mother was sentenced to 80 years in prison for trafficking her 2 children to her boyfriend and people she met online. Sex trafficking victims are often young and vulnerable, and traffickers use a number of tactics to establish control, including violence, threats, and manipulation.
I have never met someone that truly, when you get down to the root of everything, truly wants to be engaged in this lifestyle.
Some are lured in by promises of a better life, and others are even abducted.
We don't know what the trafficker has told the young woman. So if she's 28 years old and she has a 2-year-old daughter at home in New Jersey, and she's in Omaha, Nebraska, and the trafficker says, if you don't go and bring me home $1,000 today, I'm going to call my partners in New Jersey and we're going to burn your house down and your little daughter is going to be dead. That's coercion. And then there's just the fraud element of, I love you, if you love me, you'll do this.
Interstate 80 creates more opportunities to sell sex, allowing traffickers to easily take their victims from one place to another, with countless hotels and truck stops along the way.
If, for example, you were to look at an ad for a person on January 1st, and then you looked for them a week later, and then a week later, and then a week later, you would see them moving across the country. You would see them in Denver one week, in Omaha the next week, in Chicago the next week, and then Philadelphia the next week. And when you look at that, that's I-80.
And where large groups of people are gathered, Brewer says expect more customers. Places like casinos, the State Fair in Grand Island, and even major sporting events like the College World Series and the Super Bowl are all hot spots.
When you bring a large number of people that are willing to engage in risky behavior, that have disposable income, and they're away from home, putting all those elements together creates an environment that offers the opportunity for someone to purchase another human being.
Ultimately, the FBI veteran says this crime can happen anywhere, anytime, and to anyone.
You don't have to be in an urban area for the demand. It's all about the demand. If there was no demand, the traffickers would not bring these young girls to these small rural areas.
We know that sex is for sale here in Nebraska, but what's being done to stop it? In part 2 of our investigation, NTV's Ifeanyi Ibo Simba shows us how the state is working to pull this crime out of the shadows.